So today, I'm going to go over the next mod or upgrade that I did on the Jeep, which was to install an actual winch. So it took me a little bit to kind of get it. I should have probably had it done a few weeks ago, but I got the winch and then I got the mounting bracket for the winch. And when I took the winch off, or the bumper off to mount the plate in the winch, I found out that I had two problems, two things that kind of I had to address. So the first one is the mounting plate. They told me would work for this winch, which this winch is the Warren Xeon 10,000S. So it's got the synthetic rope. But the problem I found is you've got the frame rails that come out, and then you got the plates on the end that your bumper bolts go through and you bolt to. And the winch is, the mounting bolts for the winch on the plate were too far forward. So the winch needed to come between those, and it's too big. It wouldn't fit between. So that was the first problem I had. The second problem I had was when we put the PSC steering in there, they come with two little mounting brackets that kind of hang down and then bolt onto the finned part that cools the hydraulic fluid. And it sat right here on the front, and when I got it done, I knew that was going to be a problem. So there's a bar that runs across there by the radiator. And I actually moved it to the backside to pull it back, but it still wouldn't work. So I tried some other things, and it didn't matter what I did. I just couldn't get it out of the way. Probably could have got out of the way with the first mounting bracket or plate that I had, but when that one didn't work, I had to switch to a Warren mounting plate, which was set up for for this winch. But then the brackets hooked on different, and it was in the way. So it didn't matter what I did. I just couldn't make it work there. But I did look on I think it was on YouTube, a couple different videos, and they had a different mounting bracket that they were mounting up underneath. There's a bar that runs across on the frame, between the frame, and bolted it into that. So I actually, it looks like on their website, that bracket might come with a 3.6 liter, but I was seeing they're putting it also on the 392. So I ended up scrolling through their webpage until I found that bracket and ordered it. And when it got here, then of course we got ready to install it. So what we ended up doing is, they actually did all this last week. My brother's wife's Jeep, her JL, he originally had a VR 10,000 pound in his Gladiator. He had the 12,000 pound, but when he had the build done, they told him that it wouldn't fit the bumper he had. So he ran it in there for a while, and then after having it in there, he kind of wanted the 12,000 because he had it, and he could take the 10,000 and put it in his wife's Jeep. So he pulled it out, had a little trimming, did stuff, and he got it to fit in there. So being with hers is a VR, it's narrower than this one. So we ended up putting that plate on hers, and it worked. So that took care of that, and then I took the Warren one he had was actually he bought to put on hers, but hadn't done it. He'd had it for quite a while. So we used that one on this one, and was able to get it all put together. So yeah, so then once we got the bracket in, we rerouted the cooling, that finned cooling, I'm not sure what you call it, down underneath, got it completely out of the way, which is kind of nice because we had all this stuff off. I took the grill off, everything, so it made it super easy. Got all that moved out of the way, and then we're able to install the winch plate into this bumper. The winch plate, the other winch plate actually goes in a little easier, but this one, you had to go about it a little different just because of the way it bolts in. Both are really good. This one might be a little stronger. I don't know for sure if it is or not. But anyway, we got that all installed and put the bumper back on. And it was a little more difficult because this winch is so wide, trying to get back into those bolts. I had to use a bunch of extensions on the top one over there, but we were able to figure it out and get it all bolted back up. I went with the Warren, their Fairlane. I'm probably going to eventually switch that to a Factory 55. I did already have this Factory 55 hook, or whatever you want to call it. So I ended up putting it on, but I like the way it looks. But I'm going to run it like this for a while, and somewhere down the way I may go to a different bumper that's got a little more, a little better approach angle. But Anyway, so that was my next, the upgrade that I did. So once we got it all installed, we had to, you know, put all the rope into it, which I did. But before you can actually use it, you've got to put tension on that rope. And so that what happens that if you don't put tension on it, then when you pull it out and start winching, it just pulls that all through that, and then you got a mess. So after we got done doing that, it was a 2 or 3 days later, I ended up there at the house. What I do is I just hook it to another vehicle. The driveway's long enough that I can hook it to another vehicle, string it clear out, and then I had my son sit in the driver's seat and just kind of apply the brakes, put it in neutral and just apply the brakes a little bit, and then I just run the winch and kind of make sure it's going back and forth and just get it all tightened up. So it's all ready. It's ready to go. We just got to get out and have some fun now. So, but hopefully we'll be able to get out and go on the rocks, test the Atlas out a little bit here before long, and then we're supposed to be getting some snow the next several days. So maybe we'll be able to do some snowboarding. There just hasn't been a lot of snow this year. It's kind of been a weird year. It's actually been fairly warm, at least warmer than what I remember things being. Not most years aren't that way. So anyways, that's my next upgrade. I've got one more in the works for now. There'll be more after that, but I got one more actually in the works, waiting for the part to come in. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm not sure when I'm going to get the part. Once I get the part, then I'll get that installed and I'll show you what we got going on there. Yeah, so if you want to see the next upgrades and some of the fun we're going to be having, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.